Good morning, Facebook. Well, good morning from Thailand. This is my beautiful view. We're over here for roughly 10 days for a beautiful retreat. Hey, Wendy. Thanks for jumping on. Not a bad view. So this is our morning view. We've already been here, I don't know, maybe 6 days. Life's good when you don't know what day it is. We spent a couple of days working with the elephants. And now we get to hang out at this beautiful place. I'll take you down so you can have a look. So I think we're here for another, 3 days or so. Which is where we're starting to dive in deep with NLP. Do you want to say hi, Heather? Heather's come all the way from California, which is very cool, to join us. And this is our view, which is a little bit special. Just get to hang out here. This to me is what life is all about, where you can sit there and choose how you want to wake up. Hello. How you want to wake up, where you want to spend your time. So many people spend way too much time just going through the daily steps, and before you know it, you kind of wake up and another year's gone. You just look at the month of January. That always just disappears so quickly. There's our villa. But yeah, so I just wanted to jump on quickly and see how everyone's going, and is what you're doing with your life inspiring you? Does it make your soul sing? Do you get to share beautiful views and experiences like this, or are you stuck in the daily grind? Life is so much for living, and I'm really passionate about that. And I want people to be happy and spend more of their life living it and enjoying it, not just going through the daily grind. And I know I've said it before, where people work in the system, and they've got to apply to have some annual leave. They need to apply to have time with their family, and apply to enjoy places like this, which is just crazy. It doesn't have to be like that. The world is changing, and now with online businesses and access to so many great and wonderful things, you don't have to get stuck in that. It's all about conditioning, and that's been one of the conversations we've been having a lot whilst we've been here in Thailand, is about conditioning. And what we've been conditioned to believe, and what we're conditioned to think is the normal. And my question is, will I ever get to the bottom of my conditioning? At 42, will I ever be able to peel back all of those layers and understand? One of the things that, has been coming up for us is when we've been working with the elephants. And very much in Western culture, we see elephants working in Thailand, and we're very quick, due to our conditioning, to sit there and say that things are cruel or unwarranted and shouldn't be done. But a lot of that is from conditioning. And of course, I'm not going to sit there and say that, every single alley in Thailand has a beautiful life. But man, if we ask better questions, you get better answers. You'll be able to understand what's going on. One of the examples that has certainly come up for us over here, it's my second trip back with the alleys, but one of the things that, I was speaking with the amazing people that are over here with me, the first thing that they see is a chain on the elephant on their foot. And Western culture, Western conditioning, straight away has you sit there and go, that's cruel, that's mean, it shouldn't be like that, why can't they free range? Or have a large paddock or something along those lines to roam in. And some of the questions that I kind of pose towards people is, how are you going to build an elephant-proof fence? They're effectively a bulldozer on legs that like grass. And of course the grass is always greener in the other paddock, right? So how are you gonna build a fence to enclose your elephant with the economic situation? And then from there, once you build your fence, now your alley can't move anywhere because effectively it's just within the quarters of its fencing. Yeah, it's stuck there. Whereas when the alley's on the chain, it's start to look at it more like a dog lead. Western culture, we don't think bad of a dog being on a lead. We don't think bad of a dog being on a collar. These chains aren't tight. These chains aren't hurting the elephants in any way, shape or form. Again, I can only speak of the experiences that I've had. But the beautiful thing with this is they can take their elephant to so many different places. They go out to an island. They're going down into like a little pond where they're, eating all the water plants, and they can go to different, I guess what we would call fields or paddocks. They've got so much more flexibility. We went and saw the show that we were at Elephants Day, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. And if you can open your mind just that little bit more and understand how strong conditioning can be and how we can get really stuck with that. So we went into town to see where we stay at Elephants Day. It's kind of like behind the scenes. It's a real immersion program. We got to hang out with elephants that are only days old, and it was just beautiful. But we went into town to see the elephant show, and previously I would have sat there and said, why are you doing this? Like, what is the point of getting the elephants to perform such behaviors? But we had the blessing with Eva and Michelle teaching us why they had the elephants doing certain behaviors. And I'll give you an example. They get the elephants, and oh my God, they're so stunning, massive big bull elephants. And they start thrusting in front of you. And of course, all the tourists start to laugh, because when you get a big, massive bull elephant, I'm not going to paint the picture, I'm sure you've already got it, and he's thrusting away, and the audience starts laughing. And my conditioning previously would have been, why the hell are you not making, because the elephant was doing, but why have you trained the behavior? Why have you trained the elephant to do that? It doesn't make any friggin' sense, and I wouldn't have supported it. But the thing is, the reason that they've taught the elephants to do that, they've got one of the most successful breeding programs for the Asian elephant in the world. So they've taught the elephant to thrust like that because it helps build the muscle. You think about anything, if you keep building the muscle, it gets stronger and stronger, right? So that's why they've done it. And do you know what? If they can help raise money to feed the elephants that eat 150 to 200 kilos of food a day. Now, that's not cheap. Yeah? So that's why they're doing things like that. They've bred over 80 elephants. I'm not sure of the exact number. We're still waiting to hear whether it's 80 or 82. That is phenomenal. And for those of you that know, only happy elephants breed if they're under stress, if they're not happy, if they're not emotionally happy. Yeah? They're not going to breed. They're not going to have their babies. And you look at, even some of the zoos, the best zoos with the best intentions, that have a little bit more funding, they're still having difficulty with their breeding programs. So it's all about conditioning. And I ask myself all the time, am I ever going to get to the bottom of my conditioning? I don't want to just sit there and go, yep, this is the way that it is, because I was told that when I was younger, and I was raised like that from in my culture, in my community. I want to get to the truth. And it's when you get to the truth, that's where your power is. That's when you can sit there and decide what it is from a holistic point of view, not just because someone said so or because we believe. And why did we believe that having the chain on the elephant was cruel? Because we're conditioned like that. If we see a dog chained up, that immediately, invokes emotion in that. But if we can put our emotion away for a side, and I'm not saying emotions are bad, but are our emotions coming from fact? Or are they coming from the best of intentions but just misunderstood? Because if we misunderstand it, we can make epic bad choices. We can say epic bad things. And in this beautiful world of social media, we can use it as such a powerful and beautiful tool We can connect with people all around the world. Just this morning I was speaking to a lovely lady in the US. That's how Heather and I connected. But if our intentions are good, but we're misinformed, miseducated, which trigger emotions, things like social media can do a little bit more damage, right? So one of my favorite sayings is, the smart people have the answers, but they're waiting for the geniuses to ask the questions. If you ask better questions, you'll get better answers. You know, and can you be open enough to see that maybe, just perhaps, what we're thinking. And those thoughts come up in a heartbeat because they're stored in our subconscious mind. They're triggered by events which immediately bring up emotions, and our emotions are what dictate our actions. But what if we were wrong? What if there's a bigger, more beautiful picture? I can see you guys jumping on. Thank you so much. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Annie, my beautiful friend. Hey, Eva, legend. Oh, my soul sister, Jamie, I love you. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Thanks, everyone, for jumping on. But, yeah, when was the last time, you know, that you kind of looked at your life and questioned your conditioning? You know, we grew up with an education system where we're told what to believe, we're told what to think. You know, and a lot of questions in the traditional education system, you know, having kids question. My favorite question, why are we learning algebra? Why are we learning algebra? What is the point? And I'm sure, and I can't wait, and I've had one person tell me what someone uses algebra for, but I can't remember it. But why? What about emotional intelligence? Now, wouldn't that paint a different picture for us all? We're learning things in a school system that was designed in the Industrial Revolution to make better factory workers. And full respect to people that work in our factories, thank you very much. But we're not all factory workers. We don't all need to have those skill sets. We don't need to be told this kind of stuff. Emotional intelligence, we don't learn about this stuff at school, but yet we've all got emotions. You know, we're all conditioned, but we're not taught to look deeper into our conditioning, deeper into our emotions. And I can't help but think, what would be happening with our young people? What would be happening with our mental health if people were actually taught more about their emotional health? Because we just think, you know, if we're dealing with hardship, if we're dealing with sadness, if we're dealing with hurt, that's just the way that it is. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And we're also conditioned, and by all means, you know, please seek help. Absolutely. But we're also conditioned that the only help that we can get a lot of the time might be through medication. And if you need to have help, and if you need to speak to someone, and if you need the medication, please reach out. But there are more than one, you know, there's more than one solution. And that's the conditioning that I really challenge. And I want to know, you know, my thing is, am I ever going to get to the bottom of my conditioning? I'm going to give it a bloody good crack. But man, that's a lot of conditioning.
Really?
You guys want to say hi?
Yes. No.
Beautiful Emma.
Hi.
My little dolphin Sarah. Anyway, guys, a massive, beautiful good morning from Thailand. And I hope that you get to wake up and start doing beautiful and amazing things and living a life that friggin' inspires you, and not one that you have to seek permission from somebody else in a system that I call bollocks on. Anyway, I love you guys. I will leave you with this beautiful view. We're about to get into our morning ritual, have some brekkie, and smash out a beautiful day of content and diving deep into our conditioning. I'll see you guys soon. See you guys. Bye.